Do you own a drone? There are things that you need to know in order to ensure that we can all fly safely in the sky. Flying a drone is fun, but you need to know the rules and regulations that affect you. When you go out to fly your drone, you are responsible for its safety and the safety of people, property, and other aircraft that may be sharing the sky with you. This video will help you understand some of the things that you need to know in order to fly safely. It is your responsibility to ensure that your drone is safe to fly before you take off. Most manufacturers provide a pre-flight checklist, so use it to ensure that you have a safe flight. Always check your propeller blades and make sure that your batteries are fully charged before you start flying. You are responsible for the safety of your flight. You must do everything that you can to protect people, property, and other aircraft while you are flying your drone. You must not fly over people without their permission. If you are out flying in a local park, then make sure that you keep well clear of people unless they have told you that you can fly over them. We have this rule to make sure that you don't hurt anybody if your drone falls out of the sky. It's also worth keeping well clear of other people just in case your flying skills aren't quite as good as you think. Getting hit by a spinning propeller can be quite painful and may cause serious injury. You must not fly higher than 120 meters above ground level. If your drone doesn't have a means of showing how high you are, then keep it close to the ground. This way you can be sure that you aren't going to break the height restriction. You must always be able to see the drone with your own eyes. You can use spectacles or contact lenses to correct your vision, but you can't use things like binoculars or a head-up display to see your craft. At any stage while you are flying, if you lose sight of your drone, then land immediately, or use the go to home function to bring your drone back to you. You must keep clear of aircraft at all times. This is really important as drones can be very dangerous if you operate them anywhere near an airplane. There are severe penalties if you cause an aircraft accident or are found to be operating a drone anywhere near manned aircraft. You must not fly over any property without permission of the owner or occupier. This means that the only place you can fly without checking for permission first is your own house and garden or your own farm. Even when flying over your own property, you still need to comply with rules regarding airports and controlled airspace, which we will talk about later in this video. The rules regarding flying over local roads varies around the country, so check with your own council first to see if you are allowed to fly over local roads. Your local council may have this information on their website. If not, then give them a call before you go and fly. You cannot fly over state highways unless you have permission of NZTA, and you cannot fly over railways without permission of KiwiRail. Check with your local council to see which parks you can fly in. Many councils have restrictions on flying over sports grounds and cemeteries. It is really important that you do not fly within 4 kilometers of an airport unless there's a barrier between you and the airport. We call this an airport shield. It is important to remember that many hospitals in New Zealand are also airports. Helicopters can arrive or depart at the hospital at any time. It is your responsibility to keep well clear. An airport shield is a barrier of vegetation, such as a row of trees or buildings between you and the airport. This barrier must be able to stop your drone in case you lose control of it. You must at all times remain below the top of the airport shield, so take care, and when you're flying like this, ensure that you don't go higher than the shield. When flying behind an airport shield, you must always keep within 100 meters of the shield and no further away. Remember that the airport shield must be between you and the airport and must be able to stop your drone from flying towards the airport if you lose control of it. You must not fly at night unless you fly close to a shield. This shield can be a tree or group of trees, and you need to keep below the height of the trees and within 100 meters of them. You can also use a building as a nighttime shield, but the same rule applies. You must keep below the height of the building and within 100 meters. There are many locations in New Zealand that have controlled airspace, and there are specific rules that apply to these areas. You can find out if there is any controlled airspace near you by visiting www.airshare.co.nz/maps. Controlled airspace is shaded red on the AirShare maps. You must not fly in controlled airspace without permission of Airways New Zealand unless your flight is shielded. The rules for daytime flying in controlled airspace are the same as for nighttime flying. You can use a tree for a shield, and you must remain below the top of the tree and within 100 meters of it. You can also use a building as a controlled airspace shield, providing that you keep below the top of the building and within 100 meters of it. Even if you have permission to fly over property or over a park, it is your responsibility to ensure that airspace rules are obeyed. Always check first. You must not fly within military airspace without permission of the New Zealand Defence Force. On the AirShare website maps, military airspace is shown in green. You must never fly in a low-flying zone. There are many of these around the country, and these are shown in yellow on the AirShare maps. You must not fly in restricted zones shown in blue on the AirShare website maps. While there are only a few of these around the country, you do need to be aware of them and keep well clear.